Okay, so I want to start this video off by thanking some of you lovely lot. Now, I've been inundated with messages about former channel sponsor established titles. Former, as in I will no longer be working with them or any other companies that they own. And I promise you, each and every one of you, I will never make this mistake again. The reason I want to thank you is because given the number of messages I've had about this, I didn't have a single person hold me responsible. You lot are absolutely amazing. And I know how lucky I am to have your support for what I do here on YouTube. And for anybody that did buy a title and has now changed their mind off the back of whatever this is that's going on, all you've got to do is send an email to contact@establishedtitles.com and request a full refund as long as it's within the 60 days, which if you bought it through one of the links on any of my videos, it will be, because I've been doing it for a lot less time than that. So now that we've got that awkwardness and uncomfortable statement out of the way, let's have a look at another video, shall we? How about another installment of Flat Earth Flashback, the series where I look at how our favourite flat earthers got started with their flat earther-ness. And today we're taking a look at D Marble. Oh, and his van. Oh, come on, why do none of the people I make videos about know that they can edit out pauses? Let's try that again, shall we? Today, we're going to take a look at D Marble and his van. Please subscribe.
Funny things just keep happening while I'm discussing flat earth with people.
Funny haha or funny strange? But thinking about it, what we think is funny haha, flat earthers probably think is funny strange, because I would hazard a guess that when you do bring up the topic of Earth being flat, there's a lot of laughter, but it's at you rather than with you. But go on, funny things?
For different reasons. People come to me, well, no, not for different reasons. I got the Earth is flat written on the back of my car.
Why though? What exactly would be the benefit of having Earth is flat written on the back of your car? Now, if the intention is to give following vehicles a good laugh, then well done, Mr. Marble. Because with very few exceptions, I would imagine that's all it achieves. But if you honestly think that having it there is going to make people think that the Earth is flat, I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's what's known as an epic fail. Whenever a flat earther tells people why they started to doubt the Earth is a globe, because I saw it written on the back of a car is not very high on that list. And as much as it pains me to say it, it's usually because they saw a YouTube video from someone like D Marble.
Now, granted, it won't be my car for much longer, but enough people have seen that written on the back of my windshield to now question me, or at least know
that you're very easily led and a completely gullible individual?
That I believe that the Earth is flat.
Same thing really, and as far as I'm concerned, the word flat, when used along with the word Earth, is easily interchangeable with gullible or stupid or idiot, moron. I could go on for hours, but I'm sure you get the idea.
And are willing to discuss that. And I was talking to a guy that I work with. Good guy, smart guy.
So not a flat earther then?
I like this guy. And, you know, I just brought him back to the baseline. The fact of the matter is that large bodies of water don't curve.
Except for when they do, of course. Now, I could show you all pictures of water curving just to prove a point, but unless there are any flat earthers watching this right now, I don't think I need to. But I will, just because. So, see all that blue stuff? That's water curving. And I've said this so many times, it just kind of comes out of my mouth on autopilot now. Just because you don't believe that the Earth is a globe, it doesn't make it flat. It just means that you're happy to believe any old nonsense you see in other flat earthers' videos. Because the more time I spend looking at flat earthers like D Marble, the more convinced I am that their main issue is that they just can't understand the physics that explains to us more than adequately that the Earth is and has always been an oblate spheroid. We found that out thousands of years ago. So if the real shape of the Earth was some big secret, I'm afraid that that particular cat escaped from his bag a very long time ago.
And I used to say water doesn't curve. Now I say large bodies of water don't curve.
And that is what's known as moving the goalposts. Have you never heard that old proverb, you can't have your cake and eat it? Which means you can't enjoy both of two desirable but mutually exclusive alternatives. Water does curve, even large amounts of it. And like everything else that comes out of the mouth of flat earthers, it boils down to this. The water that I'm looking at doesn't look curved to me, therefore it isn't. Which means that the earth is flat. Sounds silly, doesn't it, when you say it like that? And completely illogical. I can't see oxygen, but I'm fairly confident it's there.
The reason why I changed it to saying large bodies of water don't curve is because...
people kept laughing at you when you said water doesn't curve?
I simply said water doesn't curve to a old friend of mine that yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, I wonder why. Your friend is obviously a lot less prone to being fooled than you are. This is another thing that's always baffled me about flat earthers, how willing they are to lose friends for something so incredibly stupid and meaningless. Now, this is from memory, so I could be wrong. But isn't it Frankie B. Flat whose entire family has disowned him because he's a flat earther? It's just sad.
Let me see, added him on Facebook. Hadn't talked to the guy in a while. He found out about my knowledge that the earth is flat.
Well, that's one way of putting it, I guess. But having knowledge that the earth is flat is the same as having knowledge that the Easter Bunny is real, or that a jolly old fat guy comes down your chimney. No, wait, that sounds wrong. A jolly old fat guy visits your children. No, that's no better, is it? What I'm trying to say is that there are lots of things people believe at some point in their lives, only to later on find out that it isn't true at all. They grow out of it, so to speak. It's well documented that a very long time ago, people did think that the earth was flat, and they were justified in that belief because they just didn't know any better. But today, in 2022, or 5 years ago, for, using this D-Marble video, there really is no excuse anymore.
He made a couple of, backhanded remarks, just kind of rubbing me the wrong way.
Ooh, sounds unfortunate to me, but some people like being rubbed. But I think what you're trying to say is that he didn't buy into the whole flat earth thing and therefore can no longer be your friend.
And I'm thinking that we're friends, so I'm thinking that we can discuss this a little bit further. I'm telling him, hey, I've flown a whole lot and I haven't seen any curve.
Well, that's nothing. I can do one better than that. I've flown lots as well, and I've never even seen the inside of a plane because I'm a big baby and need to be sedated to fly. Beat that then. And I'll say this again, you also breathe, but you've never seen oxygen. There are some things that people just can't grasp or understand, myself included. I've learned a ton since I started this channel. I've got knowledge now that I never dreamt I would have. So really, I should be thanking some of these flat earth bozos, because as a byproduct of pointing and laughing at them, I've increased my own knowledge tenfold. But there are still certain things about physics I just can't wrap my head around. But that doesn't mean those things aren't true or real, does it? It just means I don't understand them, and that's perfectly fine.
And he's telling me, yes, you did see curvature. I'm like, you can't tell me what I saw, man.
Poop schnaggle. I hate it when this happens, when I have to agree with a flat earther, but he's right. You can't tell another person what they saw, let alone what they think, which, now I think of it, makes what I do here completely pointless. But it's so much fun.
We had that disagreement, and he unfriended me on Facebook and then went about blocking me, so I couldn't even say anything to him. If anything, I just try to square him up and just let him know the baseline facts.
So even though this former friend of yours has gone to great lengths to make sure you can't say anything else to him about the earth being flat, you still think it's a good idea to keep making the claim, even at the expense of that friendship. How many people have you unfriended, Daryl? Because they don't believe that the Tooth Fairy is real. And I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with anything? But I'm just trying to point out that some things are just not worth losing a friend over. And something as well documented and understood as the shape of the earth is one of those things.
Yeah, I emailed him about this. And in that email, I did specify saying that water doesn't curve, and made a few other remarks and comments and all of that. But
he still laughed or didn't reply.
Then he emails me back. He makes a few comments, and then he attaches a link. And And this link is to what's the link? To Google Images.
Okay.
Of a single droplet. So he shows me this page full of water droplets, basically, and says, you know, for your viewing pleasure.
Well, that former friend is obviously not used to dealing with flat earthers then, is he? Because there is no amount of evidence that will ever persuade a flat earther of anything. They're so blinded by what they mistakenly believe to be their special knowledge about the shape of the earth that they've all but lost their ability to be reasonable. I've shown so much evidence in my own content about the real shape of the earth, it beggars belief. But with all the things I've shown, there is one common theme, and that theme is that flat earthers refuse to believe any of it because to believe it would expose themselves, and nobody wants to be exposed apart from dirty old men in the park wearing trench coat.
So yeah, I will submit that water does curve.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. D. Marble stated in his very first Flat Earth video that he accepts water does curve. So big, small, what's the difference apart from the size? We see water curving in every picture taken of Earth from a suitable distance. Yeah, it's tricky to see from ground or sea level, but it is possible to observe it for yourself anytime you choose. Like, for example, when you watch a ship sailing away from you over the horizon and disappearing from the bottom up. But as we all know, like any other observation you can make for yourself, flat earthers have decided before even seeing it for themselves that it's fake. So what exactly is the point of going to the effort of showing them or even explaining it?
In small droplets, in the form of small droplets, yes, water does curve. Now, in large bodies of water, wherein the water is made of all those little droplets.
No, please don't say it. No, don't.
More than, I don't know, how many droplets make up a puddle? How many droplets make up the you know, water that spills over the counter?
Right, after some mathematical calculations done by people a lot smarter than me, and definitely smarter than the average flat earther, we arrive at the conclusion that the oceans are formed by drops, which corresponds to the number 267 followed by 23 zeros. That's a big ass number. However, each one of those droplets isn't acting alone. The droplets combine to form a large body of water. Have you ever filled a glass of water to the very top and then slowly added a few more drops, you know, before it overflows and the water forms a dome-like shape above the rim of the glass? Now, this dome-like shape forms due to the water molecules' cohesive properties or their tendency to stick to one another. Now, I'm not saying that's why the oceans curve, but it's a nice example of a body of water which is bigger than a droplet showing curvature.
You know, when water's on that type of surface, yes. Now, once enough water accumulates to reach a border on all sides, then that water doesn't curve anymore. That water then lies flat and level.
No, it doesn't. Jesus, this is like trying to explain to my mother how the internet works. Part of the problem here is that flat earthers seem to have no understanding of size. I've said this before as well. Earth big,
we small.
Now, sometimes when you're looking out to sea, it can appear to be flat, but that's only because we can't see enough of it to be able to see the curve with the naked eye. How do boats go over the horizon? Where exactly are they going?
Oh, you Globers contradict yourselves all the time,
said every flat earther ever. The left-right horizon is following a local circle with a radius of observer to horizon distance around you. Boats go over the horizon following a greater circle, about 40,000 kilometers. Due to the difference in sizes of these circles, a difference in observable curvature is totally expected, you cockwomble.
And that's now why I say large bodies of water don't curve, as opposed to water doesn't curve.
Because you don't understand. Okay, well that's refreshingly honest of you and fair. I don't get why flat earthers can't do that more. I do it all the time. If I don't understand something, I just say I don't understand. Why pretend you do?
So, all that being said, I talked to another coworker here. Well, not here, like at my job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many people can you fit in that van?
That's what I'm trying to explain to this guy. And he just couldn't seem to get it. He's saying so, but what? We have pictures from space. I'm like,
oh, I disagree. He's got it all right, hence him blocking you everywhere. There's nothing to get. Earth is a globe, not flat. And your former friend has still got a lot to learn. Like I said earlier, there is no point showing flat earthers pictures from space. Most of them think it's fake. Space, that is. And the ones that don't just scream CG.
do you see the different tones and textures of all the pictures from space on, typing in Google Images? This is what I'm telling the guy at work. And you'll see so many different versions of Earth with different colors of the ocean. That'll show this continent, and this year it was like a brown color, like everything was dead, and then a few years later another picture where it's like green and plush.
So the Earth does this thing called rotate. It shows different faces at different times because it's roughly spherical, hence it being an oblate spheroid. All bodies in the solar system are rotating. It's just how it works. It's an unavoidable outcome. So the position it's being photographed from is constantly changing, as is the dynamic weather cycle. And that, in a nutshell, is why all the photos from NASA look slightly different.
To sit here and say that the world has changed the way it looks over just a matter of years like that, it doesn't make any sense.
Neither does anything flat earthers say, but that doesn't shut you lot up, does it?
I was contemplating this weeks ago, and just to square people away on this idea, to bring it to the most simple level, get a level, a bubble level.
Hang on a second, see that bubble in the water? Now, it may just be me, but isn't the water around it curving? I'm just wondering, that's all.
If you hold this thing level, the bubble stays in the center, right? That's why they call it a level.
Ah, yes, but they don't call it a flat, do they? Because flat and level are not the same thing.
But I'm here in Tacoma, and it's level here in Tacoma. I can hold this level. Doesn't that look straight? Yes. So if it's like that in Tacoma, and you hold up your level, and it's level in Texas, that means something's wrong. That means we're going along a flat surface. Because if we weren't going along a flat surface, it'll be level here, and as soon as you get 100,000 whatever miles away, that bubble's gonna slide to the side, and it's not gonna read level.
And I think that's enough of D-Marble for anyone's taste. If there are any other flat earthers you'd like to see me add to this series, just let me know. I'll do it. Just for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Love you, bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.